Reagan, I'm going to cut straight to the chase here before we get into the backstory. Our producer here, Mr. Jim Cross, goes all the way down to Baton Rouge to watch his beloved Tigers, and you guys like made easy work of them, man. Was that a little strategic so you could come on here and talk smack to our producer?
It was not to talk some smack to Jim, but Rebs are high right now. We're rolling. Felt good to
Hey,
go down there and
If you would have said yes, that would have been okay too.
don't let them Rebs get hot. I heard the Capitan say it.
don't let
But
them.
listen, don't let them. It looks like they already got hot. Look, so Hayden, how cool was it though? It was a cool moment for me. I saw a lot of clips yesterday and then again today of the coach getting emotional, talking about his son on senior day. What kind of moment was that like for you guys?
Oh yeah, he talked about it in our team meeting before the game and before we went out there, and he just told us, that he's going to do it. He hopes that we can respect him, and we of course respect his choice. I mean, the game is just so big. Family means a lot more.
Yeah, obviously with family, it's there's every athlete that we have on here has some motivator or some kind of drive with family. So Reagan, let's go back, take me back to when you were a kid growing up. Where did you grow up and what was the family dynamics like in the house? Did you have brothers and sisters? What was the case for you?
Growing up, well, I have a sister, an older sister, and we were both in competitive sports all growing up and within our schools. And we were very competitive between us two. Just she's older than me, and I always wanted to, one up her, and she always wanted to one up me. But she played travel soccer, and growing up, I played baseball, football, and basketball. So we were always pretty busy. Um, but our dad just kind of always told us just work hard in anything we do, and we chose sports, and we continued it. She didn't play college sports, but um, yeah.
We got to ask you right off the top, Randy. We got to, man. You said you played basketball. Can you hoop?
No, no, I cannot.
Oh,
I
the
love
first
it.
honest baseball player.
Usually,
I
baseball
cannot.
players come on here and talk about how good they can hoop, and as Daniel says, they always go and talk about that one time.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, man, that there was this one time, and as soon as somebody says there was this one time, I immediately tune out because I know that was the one and only time that they ever did anything remotely average on a basketball court.
Well,
Um,
we played at my high school, the baseball team. We did rec basketball, and it was like all the other kids from other schools playing. So it was like kind of like basketball within the school, but it was rec league. It was a joke.
who would you say on the Ole Miss baseball team is the best hooper?
I've heard TJ's pretty good. Chofi's really good. I don't really hoop, so I'd say Chofi or TJ. I've seen him play a couple times.
All right,
And,
so
aren't you from Memphis originally? Because you didn't mention where you were from.
I am. I'm from
You
Memphis.
got to be able to hoop if you're from Memphis. I mean, it's part of the
I
DNA.
know. I should be able to. I should be able to.
you come out being able to dribble and almost dunk. That's what I hear anyways. But going back to a kid, I mean, obviously, who's a better athlete, you or your sister, as you're growing up? I mean, we've had various answers when it comes to older and younger siblings, but I'm curious in your eyes, you know, who was a better athlete?
I think I'm gonna say me. But growing up, she strong and athletic, and I wouldn't say she handed it to me while we were growing up for a while, but then my body just took over, and I became a better athlete
Hayden
there.
might have a different opinion, it seems.
Yeah,
She had me, let's say, from when I was 6 to 12, but then after that, it was over.
I mean, those soccer players have incredible engines, and as far as athleticism, there's a lot of athleticism that goes into being a elite soccer player.
Mhm.
But also with you're playing multiple sports, but you end up going and following the route of baseball. At what point was it where you felt like you had something special in the game of baseball? Was it high school or was it before then?
I'd say probably 8th grade. I was playing baseball and football at the time, and then me and my dad decided that baseball was the route that we wanted to go. So we quit football and just solely focused on baseball.
All right, so you're in 8th grade, you're moving into high school. What high school are you attending? And that was the transition where you decided baseball only?
I was at St. George's. It's a private school in Collierville, Tennessee, and me and my dad figured exposure would be way better than continuing to play football because I was really getting tired of football anyway. So there was no point in playing, and I was all in on baseball.
So, don't be humble here, but how were you the best player on the team?
Yeah.
Yeah, I look at the accolades, ranked number 16 player in the state of Tennessee by perfect game, competed in the 2018 perfect game underclass All-American games, All-State 2019, two-time All-Region 2018-2019. You set the St. George's single season record in batting average, stolen bases, doubles, batted .402 your senior year, 5 homers, 29 RBIs, 18 stolen bases. I mean, the list is incredible. So knowing that you have all these accolades and you are basically the best player on the team, are you carrying the team or are there other guys that are close to you? What is the competition like at St. George's, but also outside of the school against the competition that you play?
I wouldn't. The teams are scrappy. The division I was in, it's not a very big division, so it's a numbered amount of boys that schools pick from. But it was just scrappy high school baseball. No one can carry in baseball unless you're Tim Elko. And high school, I mean, I had my best friends my senior year. We were going at it, but really, we had some good teams. My 8th grade through sophomore year, we had a lot of players that were pretty good that went on to play some college ball. So the program at St. George's is really good, and just Memphis baseball in general, it's got some good players coming up.
So what was your favorite moment at St. George's?
We took a spring break trip every year, and those were some of the best memories that I have of high school. Just going down there with the team. Everybody else is on vacation, but you're going down, staying in a hotel with your teammates in Biloxi, Mississippi, and it just was so much fun. I wish I could go back sometimes.
Yeah, it's almost like a early intro or a soft intro to college baseball, being able to travel, stay with the guys and wake up and, you're going to a different field playing. But, obviously you knew with the stats that you had and the talent that you had that college baseball could be something that you could pursue. At what point did colleges start, flying to your radar, or when did you become, a topic of conversation with colleges?
Well, Ole Miss, I'm born and raised an Ole Miss fan. So that was my dream school from the beginning. And, like I said, I quit football after my 8th grade year to solely focus on like getting exposure and traveling the country playing baseball. So I had some schools I was on some schools' radar early in my freshman year, and Ole Miss was one of them. And so when Ole Miss offered me at the end of my freshman year, I was on board from there.
So you ended up at Northwest Florida State. How does that come to be? Obviously, Ole Miss ends up on the radar, but you inevitably go to Northwest Florida. What happened into they're on my radar now, I'm going to a different school?
Well, I came to Ole Miss in the fall last year and had some success or whatever, but some things happened to where I needed to go to junior college. So, and there was a bunch of schools that I was thinking of going to, but I just thought that, Florida JUCO, supposedly some of the top best JUCO in the country, get good experience, good reps. It's far from home. It's Florida on the beach. Why not? So ultimately I decided to go down to Florida, and I don't regret it one bit. It was awesome. I love that place.
I mean, he's speaking to your heart, isn't he, Daniel? I mean, that's what Daniel did. He relocated to
Yeah.
Florida for baseball.
Yeah, and it was the greatest decision I ever made in my entire life. So, but yeah, so I can definitely respect that. I understand that. But obviously, kind of a shock to the system a little bit to go to Northwest Florida. Obviously, and I say that because anybody who says their dream is here and they have a taste of it and then they have to let that go, was it something where you felt like I'm letting this go because it's going to better me and I know that I'm going to be back? Or was there ever a question that crept in your mind? I don't know if I'll get the opportunity to make it back there.
There was always a question about it. But I love my dad to death just because we can have very blunt conversations about life and not get our feelings hurt. And we just went down there with a plan, and the plan ended up working out. I was just gonna go down there and make the most of the time that we have and take each day for what it's worth. And we ended up getting back to Oxford.
So before I get into the Hayden, I got one question for you, Reagan. Being that you're from the Memphis area, played at St. George's, and it's in Collierville, like you said. Obviously, Hayden Leatherwood went to Collierville. Did y'all get a chance to play against each other regularly in high school?
So my 8th grade year, well, no, my freshman year was his senior year, and we played. He was at Christian Brothers, and I wasn't playing that game, but I remember it like it was clear as day. That was the farthest ball I had ever seen hit in my life that he hit that night. There's the Christian Brothers has this. They're hitting indoor down here by the highway, and I swear he hit it 500 feet.
Yeah, I think I've seen him hit it 500 feet again this
Yeah.
weekend, unfortunately. but getting into you, Hayden, man, where are you from?
Here in Mississippi. It's a place about an hour in between Hattiesburg and Gulfport, just a small place that I grew up in.
Man, it seems to be a common theme. A lot of the most amazing baseball players that are in these SEC schools are coming from these small towns in the middle of nowhere, whether it's Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia. It's a common theme. So with that, growing up small town, what was the family dynamics like?
Man, they were good. My mom and dad both played college sports. My mom actually played softball and basketball. She's a dental hygienist now. So you can say that my family has always been very competitive, and it brought on to me really, really soon, early in my life, and it's just something I've always craved.
All right, I'm gonna put you to the fire. Daniel asked Reagan about him and his sister. Who's a better athlete, you or mom?
Oh man, I gotta take that one.
Oh, you're not gonna give it to mom?
No,
Oh, wrong answer.
my mom used to have me whenever I was growing up till about 12 years old. I played basketball until after my freshman year I stopped. But she always played basketball, so that was just something me and her enjoyed and always got after.
So you were a hooper too, and yet Reagan didn't throw you out there. So you done lost the jumper. It ain't there no more.
Oh man, no, hung it up a long time ago.
Man, I hear you. All right, so growing up as a kid, you said you played basketball. Obviously, we know you played baseball. Was there any other sports you were playing?
Nope. Well, I used to swim until about 9 years old. I think 8 and 9 years old I swam. But that's it.
So, at what point does baseball become the focus for you? Same thing we kind of asked Reagan. Was it something that happened in high school or was it before?
Yeah, it happened in high school after my freshman year. It just like our basketball season kind of rolled like 1 to 2 weeks into baseball season. So whenever I got out there and went to go catch, like my body was, not in good shape because it wasn't prepared for baseball season. It was ready for basketball season. So we just had the thought of a plan from there, and then started getting interest from colleges then, and just thought, it's one way or no way. So we just went all for it.
Yeah. So where did you go to high school at?
I went to Pearl River Central High School.
And I take it, where you were talking about where you're from, probably wasn't a very big school.
No, I mean it was a fair sized school. I think it was in the 5A range. but I think I had a little over 100 people in my graduating class, so nothing terrible.
Whew, only 100. Whew, that is kind of that's pretty small. We had 600 in ours, so yeah. But looking at what you did at Pearl River, I really got to go to one thing. I could read stats and your accolades for days. When you're rated the number one catcher in the nation, I got to ask you. Obviously, a lot of honor comes with that, but when you have that kind of mark next to you, what kind of pressure does that put on you as a player?
Um, it really hasn't put that much pressure on me, catching wise, because catching's just always been something that's came to feel natural to me, and my movements back there, just everything kind of feels natural about the position. So there's really no worries or nervous about any of that because I'm pretty confident in myself.
Yeah, no doubt. So, as far as you in high school, what was your favorite moment? What was your favorite year? Obviously I seen you, you're a starter every year, so break it down. When was your favorite time?
Probably my sophomore year whenever we won state for the first time in school history. And it was what a lot of people I grew up with and was really close with. And it's something I'll cherish forever.
Yeah, absolutely. Bringing home that state title for the first time. So, obviously, you talk about getting early interest from colleges. Were you on the travel ball scene as well?
Yeah, I started travel ball pretty early. I think around 10 years old, I started travel ball. And then I went with Chris Snowpack for the PSA and East Coast stuff whenever I was 12 years old and played with Snowpack until I got to college.
So would you say it was probably playing that travel ball and playing with East Coast that put you on the map early?
Yeah, that was huge, because we would go to universities and have showcase games and stuff. And ever since my freshman year, I had people talking to me. And so I thought it was good exposure.
So when you have, the caliber of talent you have, when I say number one overall catcher in the nation, obviously you chose Ole Miss, but like, were there other schools that were in the mix? Did you go make some other visits? Did you have like a top three, or was it always a Ole Miss?
Yeah, no, I never really had, a favorite growing up. But there were other schools, but nothing in particular. And I thought about Ole Miss, took a visit there my freshman year, and man, they took me on a football game day, and man, it was something that you can't forget. And with all the catchers and success they've had there, with their catchers playing in the big leagues and getting through pro ball and stuff, and they were just producing Nick Cortez, Cooper Johnson, like these number one catching guys, and just thought there wasn't a better place.
Out of curiosity, who were they playing in football?
I want to say Alabama.
Ooh,
I think it was Alabama.
they brought you in for the big dog.
Yeah, they did.
Well, Reagan, I'm going to go to you for a second, man. Let's go down to Niceville, Florida, man. I've been down there, obviously the Destin area. Played one season there, named first team all-conference, second team all-state. Just reading some of these stats, man. 339, 428 on-base percentage, 970 OPS. Led the team with 40 RBIs, 57 hits, 11 doubles, 7 home runs, 19 walks, 8 stolen bases. Besides just the amazing numbers, how did you enjoy your time playing down in Florida?
It was probably the best 6 months of my life that I've been alive 20 years, and those are probably the best 6 so far.
Right. Well, that's a pretty big percentage of your 20 years right there.
Yeah.
How does Ole Miss come into the equation from Niceville, Florida?
It was one of those situations where I could either come back to Ole Miss after last year, or I'd have to go back to junior college for another year. And I really enjoyed my time down in Florida, but my dream's always to come and put a Rebel uniform on and win a national championship here. And I just thought that I only get 4 years of eligibility, and I wanted to maximize the amount of years that I could have in Oxford. So that's the reason why we decided to come back right away.
I mean, are you sure? Because I think Tim Elko's been playing for 11 years.
And the way he talks about Florida, like, man,
Yeah,
I
your
can't
heart's
believe
I I played with Tim Elko in college.
DB's 38. Oh man, so kind of getting into this season, looking at the batting average, 262, down a little bit out of the lineup, but great games against Auburn, South Carolina, and an amazing series versus Oral Roberts. A special shout out to Jim's son Jax, because I believe it was you that won him a gift card for hitting a double.
Nice.
Yeah, he didn't know who you were before that, but after that, you were his second favorite player behind Leatherwood. So,
which one of those has been like your best game or your best moment this season for you personally?
My best moment, I'd say probably game 1 against Auburn. What I'd say was a pretty cool moment. First SEC home run, my first career home run here. Also had a double that game and we won. That was pretty sweet. Auburn's got a nice field. They had a good crowd. That was an intense game. We came out and started swinging from the beginning. That was a lot of fun. I'd probably say that game.
No, absolutely. So obviously, man, in a stacked lineup, I mean, you trying to get in this lineup and stay in this lineup. What's the mindset? What's the preparation for you?
Just go at it like it's any other day. Like, I expect to be in the lineup every day, and if I'm not, that's the decision Coach B makes. And at the end of the day, we need to win ball games, and we're winning right now. So there's no complaints on my side. I'm just going to get better at my craft every day and work on it and be ready when my number's called.
Speaking of winning games, obviously you guys have, on a streak right now. I think it was Elko that said it. Don't let the Rebs get hot. 7 wins in a row. Talk to me a little bit about this run, and more specifically, are you guys going to stay in the camo hats? They seem to be the good luck charm.
The camo hats will be worn this weekend. I can confirm. But we've just been playing with some edge and playing every game like it's our last. We had Chris Coughlin. He played back in, I think, 04 and 06. Played in the big leagues a long time. He came to talk with us, and it was a really good conversation. It was a blunt conversation, and we've kind of just flipped the script on our season. It's kind of just get rid of the outside noise and focus on each other, stay with each other, and play for each other. And that's what we started doing.
Yeah. So coming back to you, Hayden, I want to talk to the start of your career. Obviously the first year is the COVID season. Y'all start off red hot. You end up being a SEC Freshman of the Week. You're on the Buster Posey Award watch list. You're on the Freshman All-American team. Obviously the year gets pulled out from underneath you, but obviously you had to feel good coming in and starting off the way you did.
Yeah, absolutely. And the COVID year, it was really touching. We had a bunch of special players and some special things that we went through together. But no, that's one of the best teams I've ever been a part of, chemistry wise, on and off the field. And, I cherish that.
Yeah, no doubt. And then, last year, all newcomer team, all defensive team, all SEC second team, USA Baseball collegiate team, Gold Glove Award winner. Actually, I didn't even think to ask this, but Randy, we have to ask this now that I noticed the USA collegiate team. I got to ask you, Hayden, is Drew Gilbert a psychopath?
No, he is not. He is actually a really funny. He's actually almost a guy you could consider a nerd. No, he's a funny guy. Like what he does when what goes on in the game is kind of, like, I don't know how to put this, like, I don't know, it's kind of like a fake act, but he's not that person off the field. So that's what's like unique. But, if you're playing against him, you hate him. But if you're on his team, you love him just because you know how goofy he is. But no, I think he's a good guy.
I'm going to have to tell him you're the first one to stand up for him. We've had about 10 Team USA guys, and the rest of them actually said straight psychopath. And, he's been on here twice, and he is exactly like you said, the nicest guy. But They say when he gets on that field and flips that switch, it's another thing. So I realized I thought about you being on that team, and I had to ask that question. It's always a fun one. With that, I want to go ahead and ask this too. Who would you say was who impressed you the most on that team?
Oh my gosh. Golly, so many names.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now, no different than I just told you. Drew Gilbert was unanimously a psychopath. All of them. There's actually only been one answer, and I'm curious. That's why I wanted to ask. I'm curious to see if you dropped the same name everyone else did.
Probably the person who surprised me the most would probably be Gavin Cross from Virginia Tech.
Look at my man. Hayden's coming with all different answers, giving us some different perspective. They all said Dylan Cruz across the board.
Yeah. Well, you kind of figured that one was too easy to go out there on a limb.
There you go. But continuing on, like I said, you got the Gold Glove Award. We talked about you being number one in the nation coming in as a high school player, but to actually be in college and get an award like that, what's that mean?
It meant everything. I didn't even actually know that they gave Gold Gloves out. And whenever I made the team or made the list or whatever, and I finally got the actual merchandise, got it in my house, and it felt really good. But now I want a whole shelf of them now.
Oh, no doubt, and try to put that national championship trophy there too. With that being said, last year, exciting year, obviously came up short, but y'all did get to host the regionals at Swayze. What was it like being in that atmosphere at home in the postseason?
The most amazing thing I've ever experienced. I don't know how many people were there, but it was the loudest ballpark I've ever been in. Great competition, great baseball the whole weekend. Nothing really better than also playing a team from Mississippi, and you've got almost the whole state of Mississippi in your stands, and it's a good fight.
Oh, no doubt. They knocked me earlier as, obviously an LSU fan, but I am an Ole Miss season ticket holder, and I do go to the games, and y'all do have a great atmosphere. And I think the beer showers are the best thing in college baseball, bar none. So I love the energy and the environment there. But y'all ended up losing in super regionals. Obviously Broadway had to throw game 3. Backs against the wall. You didn't have Gunner. But nonetheless, man, most people didn't know if y'all would make it that far, and you did, and you gave it everything you got, and just came up just short. But with that coming that close, but then you had this whole batting lineup coming back. What's the talk like afterward, and just how confident are y'all coming into this season knowing that you have that many guys coming back from a team that was this close to Omaha?
Yeah, of course it feels good, and it felt great having us all back, and especially getting back into the fall, seeing each other, and just going through work every day. It was exciting. We've started out all right, got a little iffy in the middle right there, but I think we look back to normal as a team, offensive wise for sure, and I think it'll continue.
Yeah, obviously getting hot this past weekend. You got to watch you hit a bomb in the box. And I seen you hit one against Tennessee as well in Oxford. Which just throwing you on the spot, which one was more fun, hitting one at home in front of the crowd for the showers, or smashing one out at Alex Box?
I'd probably say the Tennessee one. It meant a little more to be at home in front of our crowd, and it was really cool to see.
Yeah, that one, I don't like that one.
He's a Tennessee fan.
No, man, but you definitely killed that one. You had a lot to say after that home run. I was feeling it, man. I was juiced up.
Absolutely.
I got to know, man, how do you get the nickname Rock?
Man, it's something my dad called me ever since, I don't know, maybe 3 years old. There's not really a reason. It's just something he kind of started calling me, and he's called me it my whole life. And then Coach Clem started calling me it also. And then it just it carried from there. Everyone started saying it.
Man, what my dad used to call me, I can't even say on the air. So I'm glad yours is parent friendly.
It rhymed with rock.
Yeah, it's definitely a 4-letter word with CK. But listen, man, I got to know, with an arm like yours, you got a cannon, right? You get excited when guys test you?
Of course, that's actually the main reason I fell in love with catching in my teenage years. But no, it's been quiet lately on the bases, but I'm always ready for the blood.
Let
Well,
it be
that's-
known. Let it be known. I have 100% steal percentage against Rock.
Oh, there it is.
2 for 2. Yeah.
Two, not just once. So it wasn't like, oh, I got lucky. You did it twice.
Hayden, man, how you let this happen?
Man, honestly, we had Knox LaPosser playing second base, and I threw a ball maybe a half a foot up the line. Knox LaPosser goes kneecap straight to Burp's head, concussion. Doesn't even make it to the base.
Hey, the umpire said safe though.
That's all that matters.
Because the umpire was Max Trophy.
Well, I was gonna ask you if we can't say Reagan obviously on this answer. Who is the favorite guy you've ever thrown out off the top of your head?
Oh man. I guess I would just have the easy answer would be Enrique, just because he's the biggest opponent to you.
Yeah,
That's about it.
that guy. It's like if he gets on first, you just feel like he's gonna score almost every time. Listen, last question. We're gonna play a little game. How excited are you to host the final series of the year against a team that might just be as hot as you are in Texas A&M?
Yeah, no, we're ready for it. We're excited. We're playing good. Their RPI and ranking is very well. They're hot. We're hot. I think it's going to be a great war this weekend.
Do y'all happen to, and Reagan, I'll direct this to you before we play the game. Do y'all happen to pay attention to like the scenarios that they show that happens, whether you win or lose this upcoming series? Do the players look at that? Do the coaches talk about that?
No, Coach B does a good job of like being upfront with us, and he told us from the beginning, get out of that social media stuff and just focus on the task at hand. And Texas A&M is coming down to Oxford, and we're ready for them.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
He said, just go out and win games.
Yes.
Everything else will take care of itself. So, guys, speaking of games, we're going to play a quick little game before y'all run. Play this game with every one of our guests. It's called This or That. You guys down to play?
Let's go.
Absolutely.
All right. So with two guys, I'll make it very simple. There's I'll give you a question. You pick one answer or the other. Can't say both. Can't say neither. Whatever first thing that comes to your mind, just throw it out there. Because it's question answer, we'll start with Reagan and then go to Hayden. So every question, Reagan, you'll answer first. Hayden, you'll answer second. Pretty easy, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do this. Softball questions to start. If you had to get rid of one of the following forever, which one would it be? Ranch or ketchup? Reagan.
Ranch.
Oh, ranch. Hayden.
Oh, ketchup.
Ketchup.
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all this as a follow-up. What is the one condiment? And it could be from anywhere. Chick-fil-A sauce, you name it. Reagan, what is the one condiment you can't live without?
Buffalo hot sauce.
Oh, yeah. I like it. Hayden, what about you?
Crystal's hot sauce.
Crystals. Ooh. That'll be in for a rough night. Man. All right. All right. Street smart or book smart? Which one would you rather be if you had to pick one, Reagan?
Street.
Street. Hayden, what about you?
Street smart.
Street smart. All right. Would you rather text or call?
Call.
My guy. A call guy. Hayden, what do you got? Text. He's taking the easy way out. He said, I ain't got time for all that. So, more impressive. Peyton stealing 3 bases in a row or Gonzalez hitting 3 home runs in a game?
Gonzo. Well, Gonzo. 3 pumps.
I mean, 3 bases in a row. You don't see it that often, but
Yeah.
I mean, 3 home runs in a game.
Hayden sure wouldn't see it because he's not used to anybody getting one on him.
All right, Hayden, what are you taking? Peyton
What
or
was it?
Gonzo?
Oh,
Peyton's stealing 3 bases in a row, or Gonzo hitting 3 home runs in a game.
you know, probably the most unlikely thing ever is Peyton's, but the most impressive I'd have to go Gonzo. You know, 3 home runs in a game. That's insane.
All right, I can see that. LSU versus Mississippi State. Who are you rooting for? And I'll be honest, guys, this is a silly question.
LSU
This is just to make Jim feel good.
LSU every day of the week.
Hayden, who you taking?
LSU.
I mean, I was going to give y'all the option. I was going to give you a third option of you don't care about either.
No, I actually asked that question not because I wanted to hear LSU. I actually had a lot of debate. These boys are smart. Like they said, they stay off social media. Anyway, they were saying that they root for each other when they're playing against LSU, and I said that's not true at all.
No, it's not true at all.
I feel like if you go to Ole Miss, like Mississippi State, like you have to, by law, remove that from your vocabulary. It doesn't even exist.
It doesn't.
You go there because it's like you have to, not because you need to or want to. All right, guys. Now we're getting into the nitty gritty. Would you rather owe somebody money or owe someone a favor? Owe money or owe a favor?
Money.
Hayden, what do you got?
Money.
Yeah, good,
Smart guy.
good answer. You never know what that favor.
Yeah, you never know what that favor could be.
Money's money. I know what that is, and I'll pay you whatever it is you need. But don't be making up favors. I'm good. All right, staple questions coming up. Would you rather spend 10 years in a coma or 5 years in jail?
5 years in jail.
10 years in a coma. Burf, you wouldn't make it out of jail, man. You're not built.
Where is Hayden been for the rest of his teammates? Because the rest of them are in jail with Reagan.
Yeah. Look, guys, a lot of people come on here and just bold-faced lie right to our faces. There you go. Oh, yeah, give me jail. Man, there ain't a single dude on this show that I look at and be like, yeah, you could survive 5 years in jail. But they come on here and they that's a easy, no thought, just boom, write it out. They don't even think about it. But I tell them, I'll tell you, Reagan, just like I tell them, I'm 37, and at this point in my life, I know what I am good at and what I'm not good at. I've never been to jail, but I know that I would not be good at it. But sleeping and naps, I'm the champ at that. So give me the coma. I'll wake up in 10 years and I'll figure out what's up.
Daniel, I went back and listened to who was the first guest that you actually asked that question to. You broke that question actually out on Taylor Broadway, and he answered prison quick.
And he was the first liar on the show.
He lied. That boy too pretty.
All right, last question. You've won 7 in a row. Obviously, you just left LSU, 3 games right off the top on them. Would you rather be hero or would you rather be villain?
Villain.
Hayden's in deep thought.
The hero.
Okay. All right. Reagan, who's your favorite villain?
Bane from them old Batman movies.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nice.
Hayden, who's your favorite hero?
Superman.
Superman. All right. Solid answers, boys. Anything you guys want to plug or promote before y'all bounce? Reagan, I'll start with you.
Ain't nothing. I'm good. I appreciate y'all having us.
Yeah, man. Hayden, what about you?
I'm all good. I enjoyed it.
So I had a feeling you guys wouldn't brag about yourself. So I'm gonna do it for you. If you want to follow Hayden, go to Instagram at Hayden Dunhurst. If you want to follow Reagan, at Reagan.Burford on Instagram. If you just want to follow them at Ole Miss, go to Instagram at Ole Miss BSB. Hey guys, there's a big series coming up. Number 6 coming to Oxford. You guys got Thursday night, 6:30 on SEC Plus. You got Friday night, 7 p.m. SEC Plus, and Saturday afternoon, 1:30. I know what us three are going to be doing. We wish you guys the best of luck. If there's anything we can do for you along your journey, please reach out to us, guys.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you. Thank you for having us.
Thank
You got
you.
it. You
Good luck,
got it.
boys.
Yep. We're going to take a break. We're going to plug those sponsors. And when we come back, we're going to talk some more college baseball. We're going to talk NBA playoffs and Major League Baseball.